Radio. This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. Welcome. I am Kevin Smith, and this is your news at noon. Let's get to the top stories we are tracking. Guyana's second EITI report reveals 48 companies in gold, diamond, bauxite, timber, oil industries, etc. refuse to give out tax financial data. Country's export and production stats in disarray, and government agencies fail to submit requested details. Meanwhile, U.S. State Department 2020 report finds Guyana Police Magistrates Court system corrupt and says widespread public perception implicates officials at all levels. Meanwhile, Heath London and James Bond and others for court today on fraud charges. Shortage of drugs continues to impact health facilities countrywide, says the CMO, and as gas to shore projects price tag balloons, Trinidad and Tobago expert warns government to determine sustainability of industry first. Stay tuned to stay informed.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burbies 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Digicel Prime Bundles just got better with 3 new apps. Watch more with PlayGo. Cheer more with Sportsmax. Read more news with Loop. Listen more with D-Music. Plus extra data. It's simply more bundled together. 51 gigabytes for 7 days for only $2,000. Live the experience with Digicel. Activate today. Prime Bundles just got better with 3 new apps. Watch more with PlayGo. Cheer more with Sportsmax. Read more news with Loop. Listen more with D-Music. Plus extra data. It's simply more bundled together. 51 gigabytes for 7 days for only $2,000. Live the experience with Digicel. Activate today on the My Digicel app.
And now for the news in detail. When countries like Guyana signed up to be members of the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, or EITI, they agreed to follow a set of international standards that seek to ensure all financial transactions between governments and companies in the forestry, fisheries, mining, and oil and gas sectors are in the open. This way, citizens have a clear idea of how much money should be in the national purse and can therefore question how it is being spent to improve their livelihoods. But for the second time, Guyana has failed in its attempt at producing a report which accurately captures the transactions between state and companies. According to the 2018 report, the extractive industries pumped $27.6 billion into the economy. But 39% of that could not have been verified. The report, totaling 178 pages, notes that there are 3 reasons for this. The first is that companies operating in the sector have refused to give up details on their payments to the state. The second is that government agencies such as GRA are prohibited by law from giving out tax data without written waivers. The third reason is that the country's export and production data is in total disarray. And moving on, the U.S. State Department's country report on human rights practices for Guyana has found that the ranks of the Guyana Police Force are frequently engaged in acts of corruption, a practice that also taints the country's magistracy. The recently released report on Guyana found that the magistrates' courts were plagued with inefficiencies, and alleged corruption in the magistrates' court system affected citizens' ability to seek timely remedies in civil matters, and there was a large backlog of civil cases. Pointing to the hurdles facing the country's judicial sector, although the law provides criminal detainees prompt access to a lawyer of their choice and to family members, the report noted that authorities occasionally did not fully respect this right. It was noted too that while the state provides legal counsel for indigent persons, this is only done with such persons when they are charged with a capital offense. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. And moving on, after several months of investigation, the Guyana Police Force yesterday laid charges against former NISIL CEO Colvin Heath London and PNCR member James Bond. Also charged are Director of AZ Pharmaceuticals, Medical Supplies and Equipment Inc., Eddie Dulal, and the Principal of Arkan Group Inc., Jermaine Richmond. The four men were slapped with 3 fraud charges in relation to the giveaway of prime state lands at Plantation Peters Hall on the east bank of Demerara. According to a source, Heath London and Bond were implicated in all 3 of the joint charges. Heath London and Bond are jointly charged for the first charge. Dulal is implicated in the second charge, and Richmond is implicated in the third joint charge. Meanwhile, the shortage of drugs and medications has been continuously affecting health facilities countrywide, which resulted in numerous complaints being raised by patients. This state of affairs was acknowledged yesterday by Chief Medical Officer Dr. Narayan Singh. Dr. Singh said there is no denying that there is a shortage of drugs. He stated that it has been an ongoing problem in the health system. But of recent, because of the prevailing coronavirus pandemic, the shipment of drugs and medications that were ordered by the government were delayed. He noted that prior to this, on most occasions, drugs would have reached these shores within 2 to 3 weeks' time. He added that some drugs are now taking as long as 2 to 3 months to arrive in the country. And now let's tell you, Guyana is being sold a gas-to-shore project by its administration, but revelations are illustrating an increasing price tag. Former Trinidad and Tobago Minister of Energy Kevin Ramnarine disclosed that the pipeline alone will cost the country some $800 million, but the more important facility would be the facility which is to condition the gas or to fractionate the gas. This, in essence, refers to a refinery-type facility to separate the associated gases which would land onshore, a fraction of which would be used to supply Guyana with an oversupply of electricity. Ramnarine said that the government, before forging ahead with the project, needs to determine what is the best way to develop industries that are sustainable. You are tuned into Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We will return after the break.
Weak systems of governance and the absence of the rule of law both combine to form the perfect stage for corruption to flourish. As part of our anti-corruption fight at Kaieteur Radio, we invite you to join us every Tuesday evening from 7:30 p.m. as we embark on the most needed quest to remove the tentacles of corruption from our systems. See you then for our latest program called Governance, Corruption and Justice.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. A contractor tasked with executing emergency works on the Yakasari stretch of road at Blackbush Polder in Berbice was yesterday put in the hot seat when President Irfaan Ali paid a visit to the area yesterday. The president had a brief meeting with the residents of Yakasari, during which time they got the opportunity to raise burning issues that have been affecting them for some time. NDC councillor Bibi Farouzeddin revealed that the contractor of the road works at Yakasari was in fact selling the dirt removed from the road. The councillor informed that the dirt was being sold to the tune of some $3,000 per load to random persons who expressed interest in acquiring it. The contractor responsible for the ongoing work on the Yakasari road is Rafiq Kasim of R. Kasim Construction Service. The president, seemingly taken aback by the complaint, immediately instructed that the contractor be summoned to the meeting. After questioning him, President Ali told the contractor to find the dirt and return it. And moving on, an ex-cop was arrested for allegedly obtaining money under false pretense. The former policeman, Paul Watson of Zealot East Bank, Essequibo, was arrested on Tuesday. It is alleged that Watson obtained money from an individual by pretending that he was in a position to assist the person in obtaining a firearm license. According to a police report, Watson was previously charged for a matter of similar nature. The Guyana Police Force is urging persons who may have been defrauded by Watson under similar circumstances to report the matter to the nearest police station. And now let's tell you, 24-year-old Mark Anthony Henry, the brother of one of the slain Henry boys, yesterday turned himself in to the police for the murder of a pensioner at No. 3 Village, West Coast, Berbice. Police had issued a wanted bulletin for him hours after the pensioner, Surojdio Deochand, was found dead in his home around 17 hours 30 on Tuesday. He was reportedly found butchered with chop wounds to his face, abdomen, and arms. Deochand was a former suspect in connection with the murder of the Henry cousins Joel and Isaiah. And now let's tell you, 2 bicycle bandits were caught on camera choking and robbing a man on Robb Street, Georgetown. Georgetown Police Commander Simon McBean said that he has seen the footage and has instructed his detectives to investigate the matter. Both delinquents were slim and had on short pants. One of them was dressed in a red jersey while the other had on a striped pattern multicolored one. After circling, they rode onto the pavement and waited there for a few seconds. Subsequently, a man opened the gate and exited an alleyway. He was then grabbed from behind and choked. As he struggled, the other bandit dealt him some blows to his abdomen and searched through his pockets. The victim remained still on the ground, and soon after they left, the man quickly stood to his feet. It is now 12 hours 13 in Guyana. Coming up after the break is your COVID-19 update.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
It is here, the Wake Up Guyana program with your host, Tony from Myconi. Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Kaieteur Radio, FM 99.1 in Demerara and Essequibo and 99.5 in Berbice. The radio with a difference.
According to Worldometer, the number of worldwide coronavirus cases has reached 129.7 million, with deaths at 2.8 million and recovery cases at 104.5 million. In Guyana, the number of total cases has reached 10,249 with 231 deaths and 9,098 recoveries. Guyana currently has 920 active cases with 12 critical. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. But before we go, let's head over to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated to being blunt. Even as COVID-19 continues to batter our nation, we are faced with yet another epidemic crime. Almost daily, our newspaper has been reporting on crimes, some especially heinous, that are committed. Even the most vulnerable among us are not spared. The activities of bicycle and motorcycle bandits have seemingly become a societal norm. Is the Commissioner of Police paying attention? Is there a strategy in the making to eradicate this callous behavior? Our people are under attack and we clearly cannot cast all the blame on COVID-19. We need the police force to serve and protect as it is mandated to do. Kevin Smith for Kaieteur Radio.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.